Welcome back to historic Fairview Estate. Last time I took you guys around the inside of the house and showed you most of the rooms. There are a couple of rooms that I haven't shown yet, but I thought this time I would take you around the grounds of the property and around the outside of the house so you could see what that looks like. We're standing in the front yard right now. The whole lot is about 10 acres and it takes a while to get around, so I'm not going to walk around. I'm going to be driving around and I'll put you in time lapse so that you can see more in less time. Okay, well, that was fun. So as you can see, big property. There's a couple of things to point out that I'll point out as we walk around the house. So first off, front of the house, I kind of pointed out what's going on with the front. Again, that pillar that's missing there, the arbors. There's a lot of brickwork like that right there, which is falling apart, probably due to settling, weather, and just the elements in general. There's also a lot of brush piles, stuff that's been cut down and hasn't been taken away. So there are a lot of trees also that need to be cut back because, like, this maple tree is touching the house in multiple spots. There are a couple of windows that are boarded up. I don't know if you can see, that window is boarded up right there. And then over here, that window is boarded up. I think that's probably because of the firefighting. They had to bust a few windows out so that they could get water in to fight the fire. This is what the old lamp posts would have looked like. We don't know exactly how old those are, but they're probably pretty old. And we're gonna do something like that when we restore the house. The exterior will have some lighting, because right now it does not have much lighting. You can see a lot of the all of the original brickwork is intact, with minor exceptions like on some of the exterior features, but all of that brickwork is still really good, and the cornerstones are also in pristine shape. But then if you look up at like the dental molding and the soffits, that's all wood, and a lot of it's rotted, water damaged, been eaten by animals. So most of that stuff will have to be brought down and then restored to some degree. And that's pretty much all over the house that it's like that. There's a lot of old, like, farm equipment, tanks. There's a back here, there's an old homemade backhoe thing. Probably was pretty useful in its day, but it's not in good shape. Okay, so over here we have old cistern, new cistern. Pretty much old cistern goes from this brick pillar, which would have been the exterior of the old house, over to right about there. That window is the butler's pantry. Those are the kitchen windows. That's the new cistern. I'll open it up. You might be able to see in there, probably not though. It's deep. It's deep. All the piping and stuff. This is the floor that we're gonna have to tear out. But yeah. We're also thinking we might turn the two cisterns into like a wine cellar, because we could put in a hatch from the butler's pantry. There's a door that goes up to the breezeway right there, which we'll get working after we get this thing out of the way and some scrapper comes to take it away. Well, right there. And this is actually really cool. Not that, that's just another cistern. This over here is just like some arborvitae trees that came up in a really neat formation that once we get cleaned out would be a real fun play space for kids. You can see what that looks like. Lots of trees have to come down, have to be chopped up and burned up. From the exterior of the house, you really just get an idea of the grandeur of this house. There's a stack on that summer kitchen, which implies that there may be some kind of vent in there, but or used to be a wood burning stove or something, but we haven't found anything like that. It's just full of junk though, so maybe there's something hidden back there. Over here in the yard, that stone and concrete is the access hole for a firefighting cistern, which probably would have been put in when the house was used as a nursing home, as an insurance requirement or a liability requirement, so that firefighters could come out here and actually pump out large amounts of water to put out a fire, because we're not on municipal, we're on a well, and the well definitely couldn't pump out enough to put out an actual fire. We're surrounded by farmland, which is cool. That's probably our closest neighbor, way over there. There's another house that's over there, but they're like never around, so it's kind of cool not having real close neighbors. Back here, tree that needs to come down, and now we are in the orchard. This is the orchard right here. We have peach trees, cherry trees, apple trees, plum trees, and I think that's it. But right now nothing's in season. We bought the house and started working on the house when there were plums and apples still, and a few peaches, but they were rotting. So we know that there's at least that. And the previous owner told us that there were cherries, so it's a pretty cool little orchard. From the back of the house, you can see there's that escape stairwell from the second floor that would have also been added for the nursing home, and it's not in good shape. I wouldn't trust walking on it right now. It's rusted metal and looks pretty flimsy. We'll probably just end up taking that out, and like I said on the last video, turning that doorway into a floor-to-ceiling window. And then yeah, this is the exterior of the house from the back side. You can see just about everything. You can see the dormer up at the top over there is to the storage room, and then the side porch, the breezeway, the basement. That's the pump house, which actually is a generator room right now. I'll walk you through the orchard, because then we'll take a look at the barn. Every time I come out here, I'm just really taken by how beautiful the property really is. It's I've never owned anything like this, and it's amazing. Okay, so that barn is part of the property. It's in really bad shape. We've got a lot of problems with like real structural problems that may take the barn down before we're ready to repair it. But like right here, the foundation is falling in. We can see that from the basement. From the side, you can kind of see how it's bulging out, and that's because on the inside you got that beam right there, which used to be up just like that beam right there, and it's not. Something in the structure shifted and that beam fell down. It's starting to tilt the barn all out of whack, and then that fell into the ground. There's actually a basement to the barn, which I can show you. It's got some pretty neat stuff. Really big old hand-hewn beams, and I didn't know that a lot of barns had basements until we bought this one, but it's definitely neat. So all right, here is the basement. Right here you see this is a hand-hewn beam. You can see the draw knife marks where they would have chopped it to make it straight. So those beams, but like you can see all the structural problems. Like this is that beam cracked in half and it's falling down, probably from water damage since the roof deteriorated decades ago. There's the foundation that collapsed in. Probably the brick failed, and then over time people driving in and out of that that entryway just pulverized all of that and dropped the foundation. So yeah, there's plenty of junk down here in addition to all the structural problems. It definitely puts it low on our priority list to fix all of this, but it would be cool to get it nice and repaired, because it's a nice useful space in a giant barn with really cool large beams. And you can see lots of damage from the outside though. Well, there is one cool thing that I want to show on the inside that we found, and then that'll be it for the video. And that is that half pillar that was missing. They're the pieces. So one of the good things about the previous owner is that he kept just about everything. I'm not sure if that half pillar came down under his ownership, but I would guess that it did, and he put the pieces in the barn for safekeeping. Another thing, the front pillars on the house, those are not the original pillars. We don't know when they were replaced, but they were replaced. You can see also in the barn sections like this of, looks like aluminum pillar. It's structural, it's sturdy, it's not the originals. I don't know what the originals were made out of. It doesn't say in the blueprints. But one thing that is cool that found in the barn is that is one of the original capitals for the pillars to the front of the house. And I don't know where the rest of them are. Presumably they busted up so severely when those pillars came down that they couldn't save them. But that's a really good piece to have, because that means we can make a mold and potentially put the original design of capitals back on those pillars eventually. And I think that's it for the, oh, that well out there is still functional. It's got water in it and everything. I probably wouldn't drink out of it, but it's just another cool thing about the property. That's it. We have all sorts of trees out here too. We've got maple, ginkgo, plenty of walnut, burl oak, pine, cypress, cedar, you name it, we've got it. And it makes for some really cool fall colors, which you get a nice look of, and then that'll be it.